I pulled into the parking lot of Le Bernardin at 7:32 p.m. The restaurant looked beautiful tonight. String lights wrapped around the entrance, the stone facade glowing warm under carefully positioned spotlights. Through the windows, I could see the main dining room, every table full, servers moving with practiced efficiency, my restaurant, my design, my staff. And inside, in the private dining room I'd personally reserved, my family was eating without me. I'd been upstairs in my office since noon, handling vendor contracts and reviewing projections. Watched on the security camera as my family arrived at 6:35 p.m. Watched as they ordered drinks, appetizers, entrees. Watched as they ate, never once checking where I was. I got out of my car, straightened my jacket, casual blazer, nice jeans. I'd learned to dress down around my family. Anything too nice and they'd ask questions. The hostess, Maya, smiled when she saw me. "Mr. Chen, your family is—" "I know, thank you." I walked through the main dining room, past the kitchen where my head chef Marco waved, down the hallway to the private dining room. Stopped outside the door, took a breath. 10 years of silence. 10 years of letting them assume I was just Alex who works in restaurants. Tonight, that ended. I pushed open the door. The table was a disaster. Empty plates everywhere. 2 expensive wine bottles. Remnants of appetizers, entrees, desserts. Chocolate smudges on my nephew Lucas's face. And in the center, the bill. 800 Mori 750. My mother saw me first. Margaret Chen, 62. Perfectly styled hair, pearl necklace. "Oh," she said, casual. "You're late." Not "where were you" or "are you okay?" Just, "You're late." My father Richard glanced at his watch. "We didn't want the food to get cold, so we went ahead." My sister Vanessa, 35, designer dress, blonde highlights, laughed. That laugh she'd perfected. The one that said, "You're adorable but pathetic." "Still as clueless as ever," she said, shaking her head. I looked at the empty plates. At my father barely glancing up from his phone. At my mother checking her lipstick. At Vanessa's husband David looking uncomfortable. At the kids fighting over bread. "I can see that," I said quietly. Vanessa pushed the bill toward me, slid it across the table. "Cover this, will you?" she said. "Since you got us the reservation." I looked down. $847.50. For a meal I wasn't invited to eat. At a restaurant I owned. That they had no idea I owned. Wagyu steak, $120. Lobster, $85. 2 bottles of wine, $200 each. The kids' meals, somehow $40 each. They'd ordered like money didn't matter, because they assumed I'd cover it. They always assumed. "Sure," I said. "I can handle this." Vanessa looked relieved. "Thanks, I knew you'd come through." My mother smiled. "You're a good son, Alex." I pulled out my phone, texted my manager, "Private dining room, now." Vanessa frowned. "Who are you texting?" "Just calling the manager. Want to make sure everything was satisfactory?" My father finally looked up. "Oh, everything was excellent. Great recommendation. How'd you even get us a reservation? I heard this place is booked months out." "I know people." "Must be nice," my mother said. "Working in the restaurant industry. All those connections." 30 seconds later, the door opened. Thomas stepped in. 43, salt and pepper hair, impeccable suit. My general manager for 5 years. "Good evening," he said smoothly. "I hope everything was—" He saw me. "Mr. Chen," he said immediately. "I didn't know you'd be dining with us tonight." The table went silent. Dead silent. Vanessa's wine glass stopped halfway to her mouth. My mother's compact snapped shut. My father's phone lowered. Vanessa spoke first. "Mr. Chen?" Thomas looked confused, glanced between me and them. "Yes? Is everything all right, sir? Did the staff take good care of your family?" My mother. "Sir?" David's face went pale. He was smart. Finance guy. He was putting it together. My father. "Why is he calling you that?" Thomas, still confused, looked at me like, did I say something wrong? I nodded slightly. Because he owns the restaurant? Thomas said, like it was obvious. The silence could have shattered glass. Vanessa's wine glass slipped. She caught it, but it slipped. What? She whispered. Thomas realized he'd dropped a bomb. Looked at me uncertainly. It's fine, Thomas. Thank you. Of course, Mr. Chen. He gave a professional bow and left. The door closed. Nobody moved. My mother. You own this restaurant? Yes. My father. But you said you work in restaurants. I do. I own 3 of them. Vanessa grabbed her phone, started typing frantically. I knew what she was doing. Googling Le Bernardin owner. Her face went white. 3 restaurants, she read aloud, voice shaking. Alex Chen, owner of Le Bernardin, Maple and Ash, and the Monarch. She kept reading, quieter. Combined revenue projected at $4.5 million this year. She dropped her phone. $4.5 million? Revenue, I corrected. Not profit, but yes. My mother looked faint. You own 3 restaurants? Yes. And you never told us? You never asked. That landed hard. Vanessa stared at her screen. This article, from Food and Wine. It says you opened your first restaurant at 27. That was 5 years ago. Yep. We've been, for 5 years. Treating me like I was barely scraping by? Yeah. I noticed. My father. Why didn't you say anything? I looked at him. Really looked at him. Because every time I shared good news, it became about what I could do for someone else. So I learned to stay quiet. My mother. We would have been proud. Would you? Or would you have just asked for more free meals? No answer. David, silent until now. The bill. Everyone looked at him. He pointed at the check. $850 at his restaurant that we asked him to pay for. Vanessa's face went red. I picked up the bill again. A meal you ate without me, at my restaurant, that you didn't know was mine. My mother. We didn't know. You didn't know because you don't know me. You know the version you created. Alex who works in restaurants. Alex who can get us deals. My father. That's not fair. When's the last time you asked about my life? My work? Anything besides getting a reservation? Silence. My 9-year-old niece Sophia spoke up, confused. Uncle Alex owns a restaurant? I looked at her. Yes, sweetheart, I own 3. That's cool. Can we come back? Maybe someday. I stood up. Enjoy the rest of your anniversary, I said to my parents. The bill's on the house. My mother. Oh, because I don't want your money. I want you to think about how you've treated me. Every family dinner for 10 years you assumed I'd pay. Never asked if I could afford it. Never thanked me, just assumed. I grabbed my jacket. Where are you going? My father asked. Home. To my life that I've been living without you. Alex, wait. I turned back at the door. You want to know why I didn't tell you? Because you never cared enough to ask. You saw what you wanted to see, and I got tired of trying to be seen. I walked out, through the dining room, past Maya at the hostess stand. Have a good night, Mr. Chen, she said softly. You too, Maya. Outside, cool air, string lights glowing. I got in my car, sat there, pulled out my phone. 7 missed calls already, 12 texts. I didn't read them. Started the car. Drove home to my condo, the place they'd never seen, never asked about. Made myself a drink. Sat on my couch. My phone buzzed. Text from Uncle Tom, my dad's brother, the one person who'd always supported me. Heard about dinner. You okay? I smiled. Yeah, I'm good. Proud of you, kid. I set the phone down. Tomorrow I'd deal with the fallout. Tonight, I'd just sit in the quiet. The peace of finally being seen. Even if it took an $850 bomb to make it happen, I woke up to 43 missed calls. 43. My phone had been on silent all night, sitting on my nightstand while I slept better than I had in months. Now, Sunday morning, 9 a.m., I stared at the notification screen. 17 calls from Mom, 14 from Dad, 9 from Vanessa, 3 from David, and 1 voicemail from Uncle Tom that just said, "Call me when you're ready. No rush." I made coffee, sat on my balcony overlooking downtown, sipped slowly. Didn't call anyone back. Around 10 a.m., my phone started buzzing again. Mom. I let it ring. Then a text. "Alex, please, we need to talk. Call me." Then Vanessa. "I can't stop thinking about last night. I'm so sorry. Please call." Then Dad. "Son, we owe you an apology. Let's talk." I read them all. Didn't respond. Another text came in. Unknown number. "Alex, it's Aunt Linda. Your mom told me what happened. I just want you to know I'm proud of you. For the restaurants and for standing up for yourself. Call if you need anything." I stared at that one. Aunt Linda knew? I texted back. "You knew about the restaurants?" Response came immediately. "Of course. Your Uncle Tom told me years ago. We've been following your success. Ate at Le Bernardin for our anniversary last year. You did an incredible job, sweetheart." I sat back. Uncle Tom told her. Years ago. How many people knew? My phone rang. Uncle Tom. I answered. "Hey. Hey, yourself. How you holding up?" "Better than expected?" "Good. That took guts last night." "You heard details?" "Your mom called me at 10 p.m. sobbing. Your dad called at 11 p.m. asking if I knew you owned restaurants. I told them I've known since you opened the first one." "How'd they take that?" "Not well. Richard asked why I didn't tell them. I said it wasn't my secret to tell." I smiled. "Thanks for that. You want to talk about it?" "Not really, just processing." "Fair enough. But Alex, I'm proud of you. The restaurants, the success, all of it. You built something real." My throat tightened. "Thanks, Uncle Tom. And if you need anything, I mean it. Anything. You call?" "I will." After we hung up, I sat there thinking. Uncle Tom had known for 5 years. Aunt Linda knew. Who else? I opened Facebook. Something I rarely did. Scrolled to my profile. There it was. Posted 3 years ago when Maple and Ash opened. A reshare from the local food blog. New restaurant alert. Chef Alex Chen opens second location. 23 likes. I clicked to see who'd liked it. Uncle Tom, Aunt Linda. 3 cousins, my old college roommate, some high school friends. Not Mom, not Dad, not Vanessa, because they weren't paying attention. Around noon, someone knocked on my door. I checked the peephole. Vanessa. I considered not answering, but curiosity won. Opened the door. "What do you want?" She looked awful. Red eyes, no makeup, yoga pants, and a hoodie. Not the polished Vanessa from last night. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. Let her enter. She walked into my living room, looked around. Modern furniture, artwork on the walls, floor-to-ceiling windows with city views. "Nice place," she said quietly. "Thanks. How long have you lived here?" 2 years. "We never knew. You never asked." She sat on my couch without being invited. I stayed standing. "I couldn't sleep last night," she said. "I kept thinking about what you said, about how we treated you." "Okay." And I realized, you're right. We did assume. We did treat you like what? Like you were less successful than us. Like you needed our pity. I didn't respond. She looked up at me. "I'm sorry, really sorry." "Are you sorry? Or sorry you got caught?" She flinched. "That's not fair." "Isn't it? Because right now you're sorry because you found out I'm successful. Would you be sorry if I was actually just a restaurant manager making $60,000 a year?" Silence. That's what I thought. Vanessa stood up. "That's not true. I'm sorry because I hurt you." "For how long?" 10 years, Vanessa. 10 years of family dinners where you assumed I'd pay. "You always offered?" "I never offered. You just assumed and I didn't correct you because it was easier than fighting." I walked to my office, came back with my laptop, Opened the spreadsheet I'd been keeping, turned it so she could see. Every family dinner, every celebration, every time you said, Alex will get us a reservation or Alex can handle the bill. She leaned forward, reading. Her face went pale. $47,000, I said. Over 10 years. That's what I spent on family meals. Meals where I was either ignored or expected to serve everyone else. 47, she whispered. Thanksgiving 2019, 890. Mom's birthday 2020, 1,240. Your baby shower 2021, $200. Christmas 2022, 150. She was crying now. I didn't know. You didn't want to know. It was easier to assume I was doing fine, that I could afford it, that I owed it to you somehow. We never asked you to track. You never asked if I could afford it either. My voice had risen. I took a breath. Calmed down. You know what the worst part is? Not the money. I can afford it. I make over $400,000 a year. The $47,000 didn't hurt financially. Then what? It hurt because you never once said thank you. Never acknowledged what I was doing. Never saw me as anything other than a resource. Vanessa sat down hard, put her head in her hands. I called Mom this morning, she said through tears. Asked her what I do for work, not David. Me. She couldn't answer. I waited. She knew David's firm, his position, his salary range. But me? She said, you help David, don't you? Like I don't have my own identity. Welcome to my world, she looked up. Is that how you felt? Invisible? Every single day. God, Alex, I'm so sorry. I know. What do I do? How do I fix this? I don't know if you can. She stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the city. I'm starting a business, she said suddenly. What? Event planning. I've been thinking about it for months. I'm good at organizing things. I like it. But I never did it because David makes enough money. Because I didn't need to. She turned to face me. But watching you last night, seeing what you built, I realized I've never built anything. Never proved I could do something on my own. I've just existed in David's shadow. In everyone else's shadow. So build something. Without David's money? If you want it to mean something, yeah. She nodded slowly. Okay. We stood there in silence. I should go, she finally said. I walked her to the door. She paused. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why didn't you tell us? Really? I thought about it. Really thought about it. When I made sous chef, I was so excited. Told you guys at Sunday dinner. Within 5 minutes, the conversation shifted to what I could do for everyone else. Get discounts, make reservations, pay for meals. I remember that. That's when I learned. Sharing my success meant it became about everyone else. So when I opened my first restaurant, I kept quiet, protected it, made it mine. And we never noticed. No, you didn't. She left. I went back to my balcony, finished my coffee, now cold. My phone buzzed, text from my cousin Rachel. Saw on Facebook that your mom's been posting about family misunderstandings. Everyone's talking. Just want you to know, we all knew about your restaurants. We're proud of you, and we get why you didn't tell them. I smiled. Then another text. From a number I didn't recognize. Mr. Chen, this is Thomas from Le Bernardin. Your father and mother are in the lobby. They don't have a reservation. They're asking to see you. What should I tell them? I sighed, texted back, tell them I'm in meetings all day. Understood. 5 minutes later, another text from Thomas. Your mother is crying in the lobby. Other guests are noticing. Should I? Ask them to leave. Professionally, but firmly. Will do. I felt a twinge of guilt. But only a twinge. They'd had 10 years to see me, to ask about my life, to care. One uncomfortable moment in a restaurant lobby wouldn't kill them. Around 4 p.m., my phone rang again. Dad. I let it ring. Voicemail notification appeared. I listened. Alex, it's your father. We came to your restaurant today. They said you were busy. I understand if you don't want to see us right now, but please just Call us back. We need to talk. We need to make this right. His voice cracked at the end. I deleted the message. That evening, I went to check on Maple and Ash, my second restaurant. Sunday dinner service was busy. I walked through the kitchen, checked in with the chef, reviewed reservations, everything running smoothly. I was heading to my car when I saw her. Vanessa, sitting in her SUV across the street. She saw me. Got out. Are you following me? I asked. No. Maybe, I don't know. She looked embarrassed. I needed to see it. Your other restaurant. To understand. Understand what? How much you built that we never knew about. I gestured to the building. Want a tour? Her eyes widened. Really? Come on. I took her inside. After hours, most staff gone. Just the closing crew cleaning up. Showed her the dining room, the kitchen, the wine cellar, the private event space. You designed all this? She asked. Most of it. Worked with an interior designer, but yeah. My vision. It's beautiful. Thanks. We ended up in my office, small space, desk covered in paperwork. She looked at the framed photo on my desk. The grand opening of Maple and Ash. Me cutting the ribbon. Uncle Tom standing next to me, smiling. Uncle Tom was there, she said. He's been to every opening, first customer at all 3 restaurants. Did he invest? In the first one, yeah. Small amount. 10,000. Made it back triple when we turned profitable. Vanessa sat down. Mom called me today. Said she and Dad went to Le Bernardin. That you refused to see them. I was working. Were you? Does it matter? I guess not. She looked around the office. You really built all this. 3 restaurants, millions in revenue, a whole life we knew nothing about. Yes? How does that feel? Honestly? Lonely. I wanted to share it. Wanted you guys to be proud. But I knew the second I told you it would become about what you could get from me. So I kept quiet. And yeah, I succeeded. But I succeeded alone. That's sad. It is. But it was also necessary. My phone buzzed. Text from Uncle Tom. Food and Wine article went live. Prepare yourself. I pulled it up. There I was. Full feature. Rising Star. How Alex Chen built a restaurant empire before 35. Detailed interview. Photos of all 3 restaurants. My journey from dishwasher to owner. And one quote that stood out. My family didn't know about my success for years. I let them think I was just working in restaurants. It was easier than explaining why I didn't trust them with the truth. Vanessa read over my shoulder. Gasped when she got to that line. You said that? In a national magazine? Yeah. Mom and Dad are going to see this. I know. Everyone's going to see this. Good. Maybe then people will stop asking why I don't talk to my family. She looked at me. Really looked at me. You've changed. No, I've just stopped pretending. She left a few minutes later. I sat in my office looking at the article. My phone started blowing up again. Old friends, former colleagues, industry people. Saw the article, congrats. Incredible story, man. Let's grab drinks and celebrate. And buried in there, one from my mom. Alex, please call me. I just saw the article. We need to talk. I turned off my phone. Sat in the quiet office of the restaurant I'd built. Alone, but finally free. The Food and Wine article exploded. By Monday morning, it had 200,000 views. By Tuesday, 500,000. Food blogs picked it up. Local news wanted interviews. My phone, the business line, rang nonstop with reservation requests, partnership inquiries, and congratulations from people I hadn't spoken to in years. And that quote, the one about not trusting my family with the truth, went viral on Twitter. My family didn't know about my success for years. I let them think I was just working in restaurants. It was easier than explaining why I didn't trust them with the truth. Alex Chen, restaurateur. Retweets, 47,000. Comments ranged from supportive, I felt this in my soul, to critical, family is family, this is petty, to curious, what's the full story? I didn't engage with any of it. But my family did. Aunt Linda called Tuesday afternoon. Alex, honey, your mother is getting destroyed on Facebook. People are asking what she did to make you feel that way. She's not handling it well. That's not my problem. I know, I'm just warning you. She's spiraling. Noted. For what it's worth, I'm still proud of you. Thanks, Aunt Linda. Wednesday morning, I got a text from David, Vanessa's husband. Can we talk? Just you and me. No Vanessa, no parents. I need to understand something. We met at a coffee shop, neutral territory. David looked tired. Finance guy, usually sharp, but today he looked worn down. Thanks for meeting, he said. What do you want to understand? Why you didn't tell us. I've been going through it in my head, trying to figure out what we missed. And I realized we weren't paying attention, were we? No. He stirred his coffee. Vanessa's been in therapy since Sunday. Did she tell you? No. She's dealing with some stuff about her identity, about how she defines success. The therapist asked her what she does for work. She couldn't answer beyond, I'm David's wife. That's rough. She's been coasting on my income for 6 years. Never built anything herself. Never had to. And seeing what you did. He paused. It broke something open. Good. He looked surprised. Good? Yeah. If it makes her actually build something, create something that's hers, then good. She's capable. She just never had to try. David nodded slowly. Your parents are struggling, Richard especially. He keeps saying he failed as a father. He did. Jesus, Alex, that's harsh. It's honest. He had one job, see his kids, actually know them. He chose to see Vanessa and ignore me. That's failure. Fair enough. David pulled out his phone. Showed me a Facebook post. It was from my mom, posted yesterday. I'm seeing a lot of hurtful comments about my family. I want everyone to know. We love our son Alex. We're incredibly proud of his success. We made mistakes, but family works through things. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time. I read it twice, handed the phone back. Notice what she didn't say? I asked. What? Sorry. She didn't say sorry. She said, we made mistakes, but not, we're sorry. She's managing her image, not actually apologizing. David put his phone away. You're not going to make this easy for them, are you? Why should I? Because they're your parents? So, that doesn't give them a free pass. They spent 10 years treating me like I was invisible. I'm not invisible anymore, and I'm not pretending it didn't happen. We sat in silence. Vanessa wants to start an event planning business, David said finally. She told me. Without my money, she's serious about it. Then I hope she succeeds. You do? Yeah, I don't hate Vanessa. I'm just done being treated like the family ATM. David laughed, short and bitter. Fair. He left after that. I sat alone, finishing my coffee. My phone buzzed. Email notification. Subject: Partnership Inquiry, Investors Group. I opened it. A venture capital firm wanted to discuss expansion opportunities. They'd seen the article, done research on my restaurants, and wanted to explore funding a 4th location. Potential investment: $2.5 million. I stared at the email. 4th restaurant. Bigger than the others. Real backing. This could push me into a completely different tier. I forwarded it to my accountant and lawyer with a note. Thoughts? 3 months passed. I stayed busy. Worked on the VC pitch. Expanded Maple and Ash's menu. Hired a new pastry chef at Le Bernardin. My family tried reaching out occasionally. Mom would text every week or so. Thinking of you. Hope you're well. Miss you. I'd read them. Wouldn't respond. Vanessa texted less frequently, but when she did, it was different. Booked my first client today. Small corporate event, but it's a start. Designed a website. Felt good to build something. I'd reply to those. Brief, but I'd reply. Congrats. Website looks good. Small steps. Maybe. Then, in late April, everything changed. I was at Le Bernardin, meeting with wine distributors, when my phone rang. Mom. calling. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Alex? Her voice was shaking, crying. It's your father. He's in the hospital. Heart attack. Please come. My stomach dropped. How bad? Bad. They're saying he needs surgery. I don't know what to do. Please, Alex, please come. I hung up, told Thomas I had an emergency, drove to St. Mary's Hospital, found Mom in the ICU waiting room. She looked awful. No makeup, hair a mess, clutching her purse like a lifeline. She saw me, started crying harder. Thank you for coming. Thank you. What happened? He collapsed this morning, at home, chest pains. The ambulance came and she couldn't finish. Vanessa showed up 10 minutes later with David. We all sat together in uncomfortable plastic chairs. A doctor came out. Young, professional, exhausted looking. Family of Richard Chen? We stood. He's stable for now, but he needs bypass surgery, triple bypass. His insurance will cover most of it, but the out-of-pocket cost is significant. How much? David asked. Roughly $85,000. Mom went pale. We don't have that kind of money. The doctor looked sympathetic. We can discuss payment plans, but the surgery needs to happen within the week. His condition is serious. He left us with paperwork. Mom sat down hard. We don't have $85,000. We used most of our retirement savings helping. She trailed off. Helping who? I asked, though I knew. Your sister. When she and David bought their first house. When the kids needed private school tuition. When... She stopped. We've been helping family. We don't have it anymore. Vanessa looked shocked. Mom, you guys gave us that money. You said it was a gift. It was. But we gave more than we should have. And now... I looked at all of them. Mom crying. Vanessa guilty. David uncomfortable. I had $85,000. Could write a check right now. Wouldn't even dent my savings. But should I? After everything they'd done? Everything they hadn't done? I need air, I said. I walked outside, found a bench in the hospital courtyard. Sat down. Called Uncle Tom. Hey kid, you okay? Dad had a heart attack. Needs surgery. 85 grand out of pocket. Jesus, how is he? Stable, but serious. And your mom? Doesn't have the money. Silence on the line. You're calling me because you're deciding whether to pay for it, Uncle Tom said. Yeah. What's your gut say? That I can afford it. That he's still my father. That despite everything, I don't want him to die. But also that they had 10 years to see me, to care, and they only started trying after I became successful. Both things can be true. I know. You want my advice? Please. Pay for the surgery, not because they deserve it, because you'll regret it if you don't. But after, set boundaries. Real ones. Make them earn their way back into your life. You think I should? I think you're a better man than they deserve. But yeah, I think you should. I sat there for a long time after we hung up. Then I went back inside. Mom was still in the waiting room. Vanessa and David had gone to see Dad in the ICU. Only 2 visitors allowed at a time. Mom. She looked up, eyes red. I'll cover the surgery. Alex, you don't have to. I know, I'm choosing to. She started crying again. Thank you so much. But this doesn't fix everything. After Dad recovers, we need to talk, really talk, about everything. She nodded. Okay, whatever you need. I need honesty. I need you to actually see me. Not just when it's convenient. Not just when you need something. I understand. Do you? She looked at me. Really looked at me. I don't know, but I want to try. The surgery happened Friday. 6 hours. Successful. Dad would need months of recovery. Physical therapy. Lifestyle changes. But he'd live. I paid the hospital bill. $85,462. Didn't blink. The hospital billing department looked shocked when I said I'd pay it in full. Most people do payment plans for amounts this large, the woman said. I'm not most people. I got the receipt, emailed it to my accountant for tax purposes, filed it away. Dad woke up Sunday afternoon, still groggy but stable. Mom called me. He's asking for you. I went to the hospital, walked into his room. He looked small in the hospital bed. Weak. Old. This man who'd always seemed so strong, so sure of himself. Alex, he said, voice raspy. Your mother told me about the surgery, the money. Yeah. I don't know how to thank you. You can start by being honest with me. He nodded, tears in his eyes. I failed you. As a father. I saw Vanessa because her success was obvious. Visible. But you? He paused. You were building something real, something lasting, and I missed it. I was too proud to look. Yes? I'm sorry, son. I'm so sorry. First time he'd actually said it. Not, we made mistakes. Not, things were complicated. Just sorry. Okay, I said. Okay. I hear you. But apologies don't undo 10 years. This is going to take time. I have time, he said. Whatever it takes. 6 months later, I stood in front of my fourth restaurant. The investors had come through. The build-out had taken 4 months. And now, opening night, 200 people were gathering for the most important launch of my career. I'd invited my family. First time I'd actually invited them, not just assumed they'd show. They came. Mom and Dad, Richard moving slower now, careful with his heart, but present. Vanessa and David with the kids, Uncle Tom and Aunt Linda, cousins I hadn't seen in years. They watched as I gave the opening remarks, cut the ribbon, welcomed guests. At one point, an investor pulled my parents aside. I watched from across the room. You must be so proud, the investor said. 4 restaurants before 35. That's remarkable. Mom's eyes filled with tears. We are. So proud. She meant it this time. I could tell. Later, after most guests had left, my family gathered in the private dining room. Dad stood up, glass in hand. Can I say something? Everyone quieted. 6 months ago, I almost died. And when I woke up, I realized something. I'd spent so much time focused on the wrong things, on appearances, on easy success, on what I thought family should look like. He looked at me. I missed my son's entire journey, missed him building something incredible. And when I finally saw it, I saw it because he made it impossible to ignore, not because I bothered to look. His voice cracked. I'm sorry, Alex, for all of it, for every dinner we didn't notice you, every achievement we dismissed, every time we made you feel invisible. You deserved better. You deserved parents who saw you. He raised his glass. To Alex, who built an empire while we weren't looking, and who saved my life even when he had every reason not to. Everyone raised their glasses. I stood up, throat tight. I don't know if we can fix what was broken, but maybe we can build something new, something honest. Mom wiped her eyes. We'd like that. Vanessa stood. Can I say something? I nodded. I booked my first major client last week, a wedding for 200 people. It's the biggest event I've ever planned. That's great, Vanessa. I wanted you to know because watching you build this made me realize I'd never built anything. So thank you for showing me what that looks like. We drank, not to what we were, but to what we might become. Later, I stood outside the restaurant. Uncle Tom joined me. Hell of a night, he said. Yeah. You did good, kid. The restaurant, the family stuff. All of it. We'll see. You don't trust them yet. No, but maybe someday. That's all anyone can ask. I looked at the restaurant behind me. My name on the sign. My vision in every detail. Built it alone. But maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have to stay alone. Ready to go back in? Tom asked. Yeah, let's go. We walked back inside. To family. Complicated, messy, imperfect family. But trying. finally trying. And for now, that was enough. 1 year after Dad's heart attack, I stood in my kitchen making breakfast when my phone rang. Vanessa. 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Is everything okay? I answered. Yeah, sorry, I know it's early, I landed it. The Morrison account. The tech company? Their annual conference, 500 attendees, 3-day event. It's the biggest contract I've ever gotten. I could hear the excitement in her voice. Real excitement, not the borrowed kind that came from David's achievements. That's amazing, Vanessa. Congratulations. I couldn't have done it without, watching you build your businesses. It showed me what was possible. You did this yourself. I know, and it feels incredible. We talked for a few more minutes. She told me about the pitch, the negotiations, her plans, actual work she was doing. Building. After we hung up, I sat with my coffee and thought about how much had changed. A year ago, Vanessa couldn't tell you what she did for work. Now she had a business with 6 employees and a growing client list. My parents had sold their big house, moved into a smaller condo, started living within their means. Dad worked part-time as a consultant. Mom volunteered at the library. They'd invited me to see the new place. I'd gone. It was nice. Smaller, but comfortable. They seemed lighter, somehow. Less concerned with appearances. We should have done this years ago, Mom had said, showing me around. All that house, all that upkeep. For what? To impress people who didn't care? Progress. Slow, but real. My phone buzzed. Text from Dad. Sunday dinner at our place tomorrow? Nothing fancy, just family. Hope you can make it. I'd been to 3 family dinners in the past year. Slow re-entry, testing the waters. Each one had been different from before. People actually asked about my life. Listened to the answers. No one expected me to pay for everything. I texted back, I'll be there. Sunday evening, I drove to their condo. Vanessa and David were already there with the kids. Uncle Tom and Aunt Linda, too. Mom answered the door. Hugged me. So glad you came. The dining table was smaller than their old one. 6 people fit comfortably instead of 12. Mom had cooked. Nothing fancy, roasted chicken, vegetables, potatoes. Homemade, not catered. We sat down. Everyone brought something. Vanessa made salad. David brought wine. I brought dessert from my pastry chef. Dad cleared his throat. Before we eat, I just want to say, I'm grateful we're all here, together. Simple, not performative, just grateful. We ate. Conversation flowed naturally. Sophia, now 10, asked me questions about the restaurants. Do you have a favorite dish on the menu? The braised short ribs at Le Bernardin. Can we try them sometime? Sure, I'll make a reservation. A real one? She asked. Not a free one. Everyone went quiet. I smiled. What do you mean? Grandma said you used to get us free meals because you worked there. But that wasn't true, was it? You owned it. Smart kid. No, that wasn't true. Why didn't you tell them? The table was silent. Everyone waiting for my answer. Because sometimes people only see what they want to see, and I got tired of trying to make them see something different. Sophia thought about this. But they see you now, right? I looked at my parents. At Vanessa. At Uncle Tom, who'd always seen me. Yeah, they do now. Good, Sophia said, returning to her chicken. Because you're cool, Uncle Alex. Lucas, 7, added. Yeah, you're like the coolest, I laughed. Thanks, guys. After dinner, I helped Mom clean up, just the 2 of us in the kitchen. Sophia's question, she said quietly. About why you didn't tell us. Yeah? She's not wrong. We only saw what we wanted to see. I know. I'm ashamed of that. Every day I think about the years we wasted, the times we could have asked about your life and didn't. I dried a plate. You're asking now? Does it help? Does it make up for anything? It doesn't erase the past, but it matters for the future. She nodded, eyes wet. Thank you for giving us a chance, after everything. You're welcome. We finished the dishes in comfortable silence. Later, sitting in the living room, Dad asked about the fourth restaurant. How's business? Good, really good. We're on track to do $3 million in revenue this year. That's incredible, son. Thanks. Are you thinking about expanding further? Maybe. I got approached about opening a location in Seattle. Still deciding. David leaned forward. Seattle's a great market. Tech money, food culture. You'd kill it there. We talked business for 20 minutes. Actual conversation. David asking smart questions. Dad listening, engaged. Vanessa mentioned her event planning. I'm trying to decide if I should hire another coordinator or stay small. I gave her my honest opinion. If you have consistent demand, hire. But make sure you can maintain quality. Scaling too fast kills businesses. That's what I was thinking. Trust your gut. Uncle Tom raised his glass. To the Chen entrepreneurs, plural. We drank to that. Around 8 p.m. I got ready to leave. Mom walked me to the door. Same time next month? Yeah, I'll be here. She hugged me, longer than usual. I love you, Alex. I know I didn't show it well, but I do. I know, Mom. Driving home, I thought about how far we'd come. Not perfect, not healed completely, but better. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? Mr. Chen? This is Jennifer Wong from the James Beard Foundation. I pulled over. Yes? I'm calling to inform you that Le Bernardin has been nominated for Best New Restaurant. Congratulations. James Beard. The Oscars of the restaurant world. Are you serious? Completely. The ceremony is in June. We'll send formal notification, but I wanted to call personally. Your work is exceptional. After we hung up, I sat in my car, hands shaking. James Beard nomination. 5 years of work. Of building. Of proving myself. Validated. By the industry. By my peers. I called Uncle Tom first. I got nominated. James Beard, Best New Restaurant. Alex, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Tom, for everything. For believing in me when no one else did. You did the work, kid. I just showed up. Showing up mattered. Next, I called my parents. Mom answered. Alex, did you forget something? No, I just got news. Le Bernardin got nominated for a James Beard Award. She screamed. Actually screamed. Richard, Alex got a James Beard nomination. I heard scrambling. Dad got on the phone, breathless. Is this real? Yeah, Dad, it's real. My God, son, I don't even have words. I'm so proud of you. And this time, when he said it, I believed him. I called Vanessa last. Holy crap, she yelled when I told her. Alex, that's huge. I know. We're coming to the ceremony, right? We're all coming? I paused. Thought about it. A year ago, I wouldn't have invited them. Wouldn't have wanted them there. Now? Yeah, you're all coming. I'm buying a new dress. This is amazing. 3 months later, June, New York City. The James Beard ceremony. I sat at a table with my family. Mom and Dad, dressed up, nervous. Vanessa in a stunning blue dress. David in a tux. Uncle Tom and Aunt Linda. My staff was there too. Thomas, Marco, my managers, the people who'd helped build this. When they called the category, my heart pounded. And the James Beard Award for Best New Restaurant goes to... They read the nominees. Le Bernardin. 3 others. Le Bernardin, Alex Chen. The room exploded. My table stood up, cheering. I walked to the stage in a daze. Accepted the medal, the certificate. Looked out at the audience. At my family, crying and clapping. At the life I'd built. I gave my speech, thanked my team, my mentors, the people who'd believed in me. And at the end, to anyone who's ever felt invisible, keep building. Build something so undeniable that they can't look away. And when they finally see you, make sure you're standing on something you built yourself. The audience stood, applauded. I walked off stage with the medal in my hand. Afterward, at the celebration, my parents pulled me aside. That speech, Mom said, About feeling invisible. Yeah? That was about us, wasn't it? Some of it. Dad put his hand on my shoulder. You were right. We made you invisible. And you built something incredible anyway. I had to. We know. And we're sorry. We'll keep being sorry. But we're also going to keep showing up. Keep trying to earn your trust back. I know you will. Mom hugged me. I'm so proud of you. Not because you won this award, but because you never stopped building, even when we weren't looking. Thanks, Mom. Later, standing on the venue balcony, overlooking New York, Vanessa found me. Hey, you good? Yeah, just processing. James Beard winner, 4 restaurants, empire builder. Sounds weird when you say it out loud. It's real, though. You did this. We both did. You built something, too. She smiled. I did. And it feels good. Good. We stood in silence, looking at the city. Can I ask you something? She said. Sure. Do you forgive us for the years we ignored you? I thought about it. Really thought. I'm working on it. Some days it's easier than others. That's fair. But I don't hate you, and I don't regret giving you a chance to change. Thank you for that. You earned it. By actually changing. She nodded. We have family dinner next month. You coming? Yeah, I'll be there. Good. 2 years after the restaurant reveal, life had settled into something I never expected. Peace. My restaurants thrived. The Seattle location opened to incredible reviews. A 5th restaurant was in planning. My family showed up. Not perfectly, but consistently. They asked about my life, remembered my birthday, respected my boundaries. Vanessa's business grew. She hired 10 employees, landed contracts with major corporations, built something she was genuinely proud of. My parents lived smaller, simpler lives. They seemed happier. And me? I'd learned something important. Success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. I'd built something real, something lasting, something mine. And along the way, I'd rebuilt something else too. Not the family I had, but the family we chose to become. Standing in my flagship restaurant, James Beard medal displayed behind the bar, I looked around at the life I'd created. Started as a dishwasher, built an empire, got seen. On my own terms. Finally,